everybody, this is Alchemist 2. Rose of Sharon, sorry. I don't know why I just said that. And I'm back again for another musical review. I just recently had a chance to see Spamalot for the second time. And honestly, it was better than the first time I had seen it. And the reason I say that is because Spamalot is a musical that lends itself effortlessly to the art of improv. And the Lady of the Lake was absolutely brilliant in the way that she incorporated something entirely new into the musical, and they made it current with the Nights That Say Knee scene. Of course, they had a breaking the fourth wall moment, which they did the first time I saw it. And my friend and I were sitting next to this woman who didn't know that Eric Idle was the one who was going to be voicing God. And Eric Idle was the one who was actually responsible for Spamalot. He wrote all the songs, and it has a lot of references to Monty Python. If you're a fan, then of course you're going to love it. But what I really liked about this particular performance was the fact that, unlike the first time when I'd gone to see it with my friend who's now dead, everybody sang along to Always Look at the Bright Side of Life. So I was just absolutely delighted. I was tickled shrimp by that. It was perfect, and I thought it was appropriate, and it was much needed after the wobbly week that I've had. But nevertheless, I really think that the musical itself is just such a tribute, lovingly done, and parody to just about every musical that's ever been done. And it's funny, and of course I can hear my dad say, well, parody isn't original. Pops, I hate to tell you, but actually parody is original because it's the best and most genuine form of flattery. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. I loved it. I'm probably going to be whistling Always Look on the Bright Side of Life for a while, and it was desperately needed currently, just due to the fact that I've been going through a lot of self-criticism, and I wrestled with something I don't have currently and I want immensely, but I've come to the conclusion that there's a reason for everything. I know it sounds kind of cliche, and I know it sounds kind of harsh, but I think, and I'm fairly sure of this, that it'll happen if and when it's meant to happen. So I'm not going to worry too terribly much about that. I'm just going to leave it to God Almighty. But nonetheless, when we had actually gotten to Butler University, I had been to Butler before. It had been a long time ago. I actually saw my first musical there, which was Cats. And Blues Memorial Hall is a really beautiful auditorium and theater setting, and of course the acoustics are tremendous, and from the balcony we could see everything. So we saw the semi-full orchestra. There were only a few brass instruments there. They had a trumpet player, a trombone player, and a French horn player, which that you would come to expect, but it's an awfully small wind section, or I should say brass section to be more accurate. And then you've got your keyboard player, so it's mostly recorded, but you can't tell. It's just the illusion of having a full orchestra when you don't, and it saves money. So there you go. We're cheap, but guess what? No one knows and no one cares. And the only people who can see past the illusion are up on the balcony, and they smile at it and they acknowledge it for what it is. But everything about it was just absolutely sensational. I thought that the French Tantra scene was done expertly, and I laughed harder than I should. And I'm thinking that I was one of the few people up on the balcony laughing like I did. But I could hear my friend laughing as well. And he hadn't laughed like that in a good long time. So it was really good to hear him laugh like that. I really don't have that much else to say other than, according to the pathway in getting my master's, I'm 27%. I don't really complete it until the very beginning of 2020, which honestly isn't that far away. So I'm almost halfway, but not quite, if that makes sense. And currently the chapters I'm going through are really rough, but I'll get it. I'll make it, and I'll be able to obtain my master's degree, because if you know me well enough, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I have 2 dreams I wish to create and manifest into this world. I sense that these things are absolutely necessary, and they're both niche positions, and they cover both spectrums of humanity. So who else other than a dreamer to make this a reality? I've come to the point in realizing that a business from an entrepreneurial perspective is extremely risky, but if I don't do it, who will? That's the other part of it. It's a necessary creation. It's just a seed waiting to sprout. I don't have really any other announcements. I am working on quite a few things. I'm currently penning the second part of Genre Jumpers. The first part is on Kindle. I've done the artwork. I am going to finish another collaboration, which is turning out to be intense with the battle scene that they're currently partaking in. I'm doing fan art for that. Of course, I did my fan art of Eridan, and I'm going to color it. I'm going to scan it, and I'm going to put it on Teespring and sell it. Maybe people will buy it. I don't know. Hard to tell. It's actually one of my better pieces of fan art, so I'm very proud of it. I am going to draw Hermes from Hercules, but not in the same way as he is portrayed, because when I did it on Teespring, they gave me a slap of a copyright violation. So I thought, ooh, Disney is really quite stringent, and I'm not really shocked at that. But they said, yeah, we're giving you a yellow card for your violation. Sorry, I'm using soccer termination, but yellow card violation. Take some time. Consider what you've done. You've been bad girl. Slap on the wrist. So don't do it again. I think, okay, fine, I won't. I'm going to follow the rules from here on out. Please don't hurt me again. But it was just a small little reprimand. But that's all I have to say. I'm reading plenty of books. I'm reading the final book in the quartet of Mortal Engines, which is a Darkling Plane. And so far it's turning out extremely well. It's probably the biggest of the books. I have plenty of other books that I'm going to be reading. A lot of biographies. But like I said, I'm extremely busy. And a lot of things to look forward to in the future. So I will keep you updated on these things. So gardeners, stay tuned. We will have so much to cover in the future. Till next time, live on, prosper. Ciao, tutti!